I thought I'd go ahead and get this first thing kind of started, kind of break the ice on it and try to get grip on it. So what I'm going to do is we will start from page 1. You're going to find that this is happening right here. And up here, home, you have home. If you're on your phone now, it's going to be the line hashes right here, which will drop down. But on the computer, this is the way it looks. So right now we're on home. In each thing here we have joined LWS, which is Love One Society. Love one, as we have won the war against evil, okay, and what's been going on to us. So anyway, let's drop this down. It's Zim hold to benefactors. So when you have Zims, you will redeem them when you go to your first appointment. And that the benefactor, or the Zim holder to benefactors, is where the money comes from to do your humanitarian work, is what we're going to try to do here. So I'm not going to go into it yet. And then down here, how do I join? Okay, now this is just trying to familiarize you with the controls a little bit. So we go here, then we go to the next one. We go to programs. And then we have what's called SKRs, safekeeping receipts, announcing a new program called the safekeeping receipt. A safekeeping receipt, SKR, is not a new term. SKRs are used extensively in the bond markets to avoid keeping bonds in one's home and can keep in a bank, a vault for safekeeping, bank vault for safekeeping. Excuse me. Anyway, this warrants reading, gives you some information, and you've got a couple of links that you can go to. This one you're already on. This is a jot form now that you can use to ask questions. Let's see. Use this jot form, request your amounts, and then allow 48 hours to receive your certificate. So actually, if we go here, okay, and you put your name and pertinent information here, and David, I suggest that you go ahead and do this at this point while I'm looking at it. So you put your first name, your last name, your email address, the country, and it's in there, I believe, under United States, so you'd have to go to the U's, I do believe. Let's see. Well, I've already got mine. It's got everything on it already, so I can hit that as an autofill. Anyway, you can put your country right there. And it says, I hereby request Zim bonds as a safekeeping receipt from the storehouse of the Loved One Society. See, Zim bonds actually have zero value, okay? But this is what they're using that you can redeem if you have what you need, or what you need to have to be able to be a Zim bond holder. Now, Zim bond holder, okay, means that he's going to use that money for a humanitarian project. You're going to get your own money, and you can't ever spend it all. So, you don't have to worry about all that, okay? So, anyway, you can put it away, safekeeping receipt. The storehouse of Lone One Society is authorized by the Earth Alliance. Now, Earth Alliance is another term. Can't for sure tell you, but I believe that's what we're going to start referring to our government at. Earth Alliance is the we the people governing we the people. Okay, no more bureaucrats, no more of that crap making decisions for us and getting us into trouble again. All right, so Anyway, here we go back. We're going to go back to the Earth Alliance right here. All right. And then the next thing it says, I understand that I can include these SKR bonds for redemption at my appointment. Yes, you can. Now, this form is going to request Zim bond certificates. Okay. And that's what you're requesting. It says, I understand that I can include these SKR bonds for redemption at my appointment. Everything gets done at your first appointment. You'll get your digital account. You'll get your personal wealth. You'll get something like 15,000 in the digital rainbow currency. Okay. And I understand I can include these SKR bonds. Okay. So now, as a director, they recommend that you go in and you request for per dollar of the value of the Zim bond. Now, I bought a $20 trillion Zim bond. So if that's all I had, I could take that in and I could demand payment on it, and I can set the price that I want to get. Now, if you just want to do kind of a smaller project, you wouldn't request as much. But I want to have a full-blown program. I want to be able to process everybody completely through our own programs, which that, you know, thinking about it and discussing it some, that all of us directors will work together and work with the same programs. Okay, so it could be a mirror deal unless you think you know a better way. Then absolutely, everything is personal here. It's individual. It's not a necessarily achievement thing, except for the humanitarian and having the heart to want to go out and help people off the street. Okay. So that's something you definitely want to do. All right. So down here below it says the Alliance. Okay, right here. The Alliance wants us to have the greatest number of funds possible. Therefore, you can request a maximum of 180 million in your combined SKR, and a total of 20 quintillion. These are the limits. Okay. So what we do is we go to the first box. After we filled all this out, we go to the first box, and it says how many 100 quintillion bonds do you want? You can get a maximum of 20. Now it looks like 10. See, it says 20 right there. I don't understand that. I'm going to put 20 because you want to get the all you can. And right here you can see it's 180 total. How many million do you want? 3,000, 3 million, 3 zeros. So I don't quite understand that yet. I haven't found the clue. Anyway, you go here and you go ahead and go 180. This is a maximum request. And do that if you're planning on going the whole route, or you plan on doing it for some time, because you're going to be making payments to people. You're going to set them up, and then you're going to do their what they call download, which is money that is paid to them by the minute. Now, if all they do is if they just go to the appointment as an individual and not with anything else, then that's okay. But what we do need is we need people to keep working. Okay, we need everything to keep running. We need the water and the lights to stay on. If everybody quit and stayed home, they wouldn't have any place to go spend their money. Okay, so our humanitarian project is that we continue to work, but we continue to work in something that we want to work in or like to work in. And there's there's so many people, 360 million people in the United States, means there could be 360 million ideas. Okay. So anyway, then once you've got these two filled out, you just drop down here and you manually try to create you a signature. So that's how you kind of got to do it, and it's okay because they know it's hard to do that by mouse or by finger. All right. So anyway, and then you just click here. I am human. It's going to pop up one or two of these, so you to pick out buses or water hydrant, fire hydrants, whatever, and you submit it. Okay. Now, Linda got hers first, and I didn't do mine yet, but you need to make sure that you're working with LWS before you request it, because that's where it comes from. Once you get your first email from Loved One Society, LOS, LWS, Loved One Society. All right. So anyway, this is this form, and that'll get you that. Now let's go into the training videos. This is the beginning. Okay, now when Linda and I first started, not all of these things were, this one I think was, but we've got things that are available now that we didn't have then. Okay, now the deal is to remember that these are programs. Okay, and you can see the list here. We've got RSS Training, which is revenue sharing service, I think it's called. But we're fixing to look at this one right now, so we'll find out. So let's go ahead and run up to here. This is going to be a video, and I'm going to go ahead.
So I'm introducing myself, Ron Giles, and Tracy, who is our moderator today. And with that, let's go ahead and go. I'd like to talk today about Zim benefactors. Now, in the RSS program, there's two portions of that. One is the Zim benefactor, and one is the Zim beneficiary. Today, we'll be talking about the Zim benefactor, and at another time, we'll talk more about how the beneficiaries can work the program. So, one of the most important things to understand about the Zim benefactor is that to be a Zim benefactor, you have to go through the program and understand it, and then sign a contract with Loved One Society. In that contract, you'll be a Zim benefactor, but you will also have, and we'll go a little bit further into that in a little while, but there's certain benefits or things that you need to do, and one of them is to go through the Zim redemption process and ask for the higher rates. When you sign the contract, there is a liability that you are accepting, in that you will be funding a chain of Zim beneficiaries that creates a liability for you over time. Now, if you've asked for the higher rates, you will never have a problem meeting those obligations. But it's important for you to, in the beginning, go for the higher rates so that you don't have any other problems, and then you'll be able to have plenty of money to do anything that you want to do, along with the liability that you created for funding the Zim beneficiaries. So with that, let's go ahead and go on. In the humanitarian programs, we have created 5 unique programs that were designed for Zim holders to enhance their humanitarian projects. And this is key, using their own Zim redemption funds. And that's where you obligate yourself to continue that. The first 2 programs, I'll call them entry-level programs for all Zim benefactors. One is the Revenue Sharing Solutions program, The second is the community assistance centers. And there's three more that are more advanced and are optional. One is the National Real Estate Listing Service. 4 is the Economic Stabilization System, and 5, International Commodity Clearinghouses. These last 4 are optional. Perhaps the National Real Estate Listing Service will be participated in by many more than would go ahead with the Economic Stabilization System and International Commodity Clearinghouses, because it's on a much larger scale than most people really want to get involved with. But the Real Estate Listing Service is a magnificent program to get people into homes. And so we have them give them the money, and then they can get into homes. And this is the basis upon which people begin building a family that is the basic building block for society. We believe that the home is something that should never be foreclosed upon, and you should never be required to leave that home because of funds. That's a program that's really exciting. But let's go back and learn a little bit more about the Revenue Sharing Solutions program. Okay, so ZIM benefactors have 2 priorities, Priority 1 and Priority 2. RSS platform controlled by Loved One Society is the first one that you have a priority. You will receive a master ID number when you've signed the contract. Master ID number means that anybody that comes in that you're going to fund comes in underneath that master ID number. Now, obviously, they won't use that. They'll use the other personal ID numbers as the chain of beneficiaries. And all of those, that chain of beneficiaries are under the master ID number, and those are the ones that we'll be funding. Master funding account. Keep in mind that the RSS platform has no money in it. Yes, it's an accounting system that keeps track of money, but it's only accounting entries. There is no money in the system at all. And so each ZIM benefactor sets up a master funding account where the RSS platform can pull from that account and pay the beneficiary when they request money. So part of the program, then you got the master ID number, and you're responsible for the master funding account, which will be in the QFS, Quantum Financial System. Loved One Society does not have any charges or fees or anything. It's free to set up in any location or country, no restrictions at this point in time. Once again, there's no control. It will go where people refer people. So once you've started your master ID number and you start having people register, you have no control over what takes place. They will be referring to their aunts, uncles, whatever, friends, and they may have friends over in France or Germany or other countries. And so once it goes out to wherever, and you have no control over it. And it's designed that way because we don't have any control. There is a backup system, and that is the Alliance, and the quantum financial system itself are the lions at the gate, and people will not be able to use money even if they get it unless they're doing good things with it or appropriate things. Mm-hmm. So if you're wanting to do drugs or something of this nature or sex trafficking, your funds will be blocked. There's none of that kind of activity that will be allowed in the quantum financial system.
So what is the entire
So we don't
purpose?
have to worry about it.
Ron, I need to understand something. So what is the purpose of the revenue sharing solution? Why did you create it? What is it supposed to do?
Well, that's an excellent question. And as a Zim benefactor or as a Zim holder getting our funds, how do you get that into the hands of people? And this was a program that was designed to get the money into the hands of as many people as want it in a very organized and in a way that maintains dignity. Now, just the simple fact that we charge $10 to come in qualifies you, anybody, to receive funds from the revenue sharing solutions. It's a solution for the sharing of funds to the world, to people, to individuals.
Awesome.
This was what it's for.
So it's basically to disperse the revenue to the general public from the Zim benefactors. So the beneficiaries are the receivers of the money, and the benefactors are the givers of the money. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, that is true.
Awesome. And when you say there's no control, this means that it's open to anybody and everybody, provided that they are not nefarious in nature.
Well, it's open to everybody, even if they're nefarious. But if they do get money and start using it for bad things, the quantum financial system will block their transfers.
Perfect.
They won't have an opportunity to do things that are inappropriate.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we don't have to worry about it as benefactors. We don't have to worry about where the money goes, nor the people that we have to concern ourselves with. Everybody gets a chance to make mistakes, and everybody gets a chance to really get involved and have an enjoyable life with a flow of income that's significant and beneficial for their own personal lives. Revenue sharing solutions will be the website. So it's not a .com, it's a .solution. So we call it the RSS program, Revenue Sharing Solutions, but is Revenue Sharing Solutions to get into the platform. Now let's go on to the Community Assistance Centers program. The real actual humanitarian activity is done in the communities. And this program is the one that we call the boots on the ground. Each SIM benefactor funds their own program, their own CAC program. They're in charge of it. They set it up according to the people that they want to have involved. Now, we'll give policies on how to do things and training and so forth, but keep in mind that you are the Zim benefactor. You are the one who is in charge of the use of your money. So you will always have control. We never take control of your money. The only way that we even get funds from you is through your master account, and then that's drawn down according to the program. So the CAC structure is for each city, county, state, nation, or wherever you want to work within. You may set up alongside another Zim benefactor. There are no restrictions. So if there's a whole bunch of you in an area, you can each set up your own community assistance centers and start working towards each of the different communities. So a little coordination could be a good idea, but we don't require that. You're in charge of your activities, and if you want to work with other people, then that's a good thing, but we're not in charge of that. You guys are, whoever wants to be involved. So the main purpose for the Zim benefactor then is to recruit people to fill director positions in geographic.
Now, I decided to go ahead and get to the end of this page, but what he's talking about, you can, I can, Linda can, whatever, to fill director positions, which means they would be another Zim benefactor that would have their own master account with their own master ID here. Now, there's no competition here, okay? But these people get set up under your number, that whoever gets signed up under there, that's where they get their payments from. That's what that's for, okay? So there's no competition. You do your best, and Linda does her best, and I do my best to do and bring it in. So I'm going to let him finish this page real quick, and then I'm going to stop it for now. We're up to 39 minutes, so let's go. Excuse me.
Communities, cities, states, countries, and so on.
Nice. So you basically, there's no boundaries with that. So you can do it like starting in your own community and just branch from there. Is that what you would suggest?
I would suggest you start in your own communities with people that you may know as directors. And it's not going to be hard to recruit these people, because who wouldn't love a job giving money away?
Exactly. And serving your own community.
And serving the people that you love, and that's where your home is. So you start there, in my opinion, you start there. And then you go wherever you'd like to go.
Awesome.
No restrictions.
So with the community assistance centers, what exactly are people going to be doing in these communities? You're hiring these directors, but what are the directors going to be doing? The
community assistance directors have many different potential hats. They come under the direction of the Zim benefactor, because the benefactor is the one who hires them and creates a set of policies and procedures. The main purpose of this is to get money out into the communities, but the director is responsible for bringing into the program small business owners or service-oriented businesses in the community. We're going to be giving people a lot of money in the RSS program, but we want people to maintain their working and their service to the community. So we're doing that by employment contracts. For instance, let's say there's a guy down the street who has an auto body shop. It's a major service to the community, because you can go, and there's others that are there that will do that, but we have to have maintain the numbers of people so that it can be serviced properly. We go into the business owner and we say to him, we'd like to offer you an employment contract. Yeah, we'll go through the selling points and all that sort of stuff, but we won't go into that now. But the idea is that we double your income from what you're doing now, and we pay your employees a contract by contract using our revenue sharing solutions program or platform, which drops the money into their account, and you don't even have to worry about paying them, because we pay them. So you're going to double your income. You're going to be able to hire as many people and put them on these contracts as you need to maintain your business. it's just wise to be able to, for you to manage things. So the director will go in and talk to you, and then and he'll set you up on your employment contract, and in each of the employees, he will set up on another on a contractual basis under the direction of the business owner. So if the business owner thinks you need to raise, then he tells the director, and the director goes in and makes the changes. If you fire somebody, then the idea is, as far as policy is concerned, we'll continue for another 30 days after that person is dismissed so that he can go find some other work. But he'll get paid during that time through the RSS program.
So the payment to the employee comes from the RSS?
Yes. And he's not involved in that payment or anything like that. He just tells the system what he wants to pay his employees, and each one of them can have their own account. Plus, they all get accounts, their own personal accounts or beneficiary accounts. So there's 2 accounts in the RSS platform. They have 2 pennies dropping into their account, whatever amount that is that the owner of the business wants to pay his employees.
Now, those 2 pennies he's talking about is the minute pay. 2 cents a minute, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days. Makes a pretty good paycheck. Okay. I don't make that kind of money. And there's a lot of people that don't. But I'm going to go ahead and stop it right here. And we'll go ahead and I'll pick up the next video maybe later today. But I'm going to go ahead and get this one in YouTube. And then we'll move on from there. All right, guys. Hope you got something for that. Hope it helped. And I need your feedback so I can tailor this a little. Some of the key points I want to make a point of, and to let you understand the different levels of what they are. So just to recap real quick, we might remember that QFS is the bank. They're the ones that actually sends the money. Okay. So like I say, if anything nefarious is going on or whatever, it's the QFS that will block the transaction. All right. Well, I hope you have a good day. I don't see my timestamp, but okay. Anyway, we're 45 minutes in, so I'm going to stop it here.